Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my first pregnancy update. Yay, I am so excited. If you are new here, my name is Jessica and I am currently 8 weeks and 2 days pregnant. And this is my third pregnancy. My first pregnancy, I had a little boy named Miles, who is 3 years old. My second pregnancy, unfortunately, resulted in a miscarriage back in November. And now we are pregnant again. When I originally started my pregnancy, when I originally started my channel, the whole reason behind it was because my husband and I were starting to TTC and I wanted to just document my second pregnancy because I wished that I had done that with my son. So it's been a long time coming. It's been quite a journey that I could not have guessed that we were going to be going on, but now all this time later, here I am doing my first pregnancy update and I am just so excited. So I'm going to be doing it like a questionnaire style, just because that way it'll make sure I hit all of the points that I want to hit and that I won't miss anything. So I think this is going to be kind of long, so we're going to jump right into it. I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, let's just get started. This is, according to my app, the size of our little bean right now, just the size of a raspberry. So cute. I'm gonna eat this, you guys, because I have to eat all the time to not be nauseous. So that is the size of our baby, according to my app. Also this week, the baby loses the tail that it has, and they're also starting to sprout little paddle-like limbs for their arms and legs, which is so true because we just got our first ultrasound a couple days ago and you can totally see little limbs. It's so cute. Weight gain. I didn't get an exact measurement of what I weighed before I got pregnant, but just based off my average weight, I have gained about 3 pounds so far, which is probably not ideal, but I'll talk more about that in a minute. Am I wearing maternity clothes? No. However, I do wear a lot of leggings and dresses. I do still wear my jeans and stuff, but definitely by the end of the day, they're just very uncomfortable, and right now all I want to be is comfortable. Stretch marks. I do not have any stretch marks, and I did not get stretch marks with my first pregnancy, and I owe all of that to the Burt's Bees body butter and also the Burt's Bees body oil. I'll insert some pictures if I can find them because I don't have them with me. Those are both on my list of things that I need to pick up because I use them every single day with my last pregnancy and I didn't get stretch marks. I did try to be as healthy as possible. I know that sometimes they say stretch marks are hereditary, so I don't really know why I didn't get stretch marks, but it's my goal, if possible, to not get them with this pregnancy. So I'm gonna just try to do everything the same. And those are the two products that I used on my belly and on my thighs and legs every single night, and they worked for me. How are you sleeping? Well, not great. So I am so, I guess, paranoid when I'm pregnant that I do not like to sleep on my stomach at all. And I've heard from a lot of people on Instagram. I actually asked you guys for any tips or suggestions on what I can do to help make me more comfortable at night sleeping, because when I'm not pregnant, I sleep on my belly. It's the only way I can fall asleep at night. It's just where I'm most comfortable. But when I'm pregnant, I do not like to lay on my belly if I can help it. So I've just been looking for alternative things to do at night. I've been just really, it just feels kind of like tight, and when I lay on my side or try to get into a position that is comfortable, I just really struggle with it. So a lot of people recommended getting one of those big body pillows that I never used with my first pregnancy. So since I'm already having struggles this early on sleeping, I might invest in one of those soon because it's just been bad. And I'm so tired at night too. The first, I would say week 4 through 6, I was going to bed at about, I don't know, as soon as I put my son to bed. So by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, I was in bed and I was passed out. I was so so exhausted. I'm still in bed around the same time now, like 9 o'clock, 9:30, but I just find myself tossing and turning and trying to get comfortable for hours that I don't actually fall asleep until closer to like 11 o'clock. And that just stinks because I really want to make sure I'm well rested and I'm getting all of my rest because I feel so good when I wake up in the morning and I had just like a good night's sleep. Are you exercising? So for this pregnancy, yes. For when I was pregnant with my son, I was so sick. It was my first pregnancy. I think everything was just magnified. I was so nauseous, so exhausted, and I had really bad food aversions. And I was working full time. I could barely even keep my eyes open at work, and by the time I got home, I just went right to bed. I maybe ate like a popsicle because no food sounded good to me. So no, I did not work out for the first trimester for that pregnancy, but this time around, it's a little different because I do have a 3-year-old, so I cannot just lay in bed when I'm tired and not feeling good. So I try to keep myself active. I am less nauseous and I have not had the extreme amount of food aversions this time around, so I think that's really helpful. But I did find when I was feeling really lethargic and just really terrible, when I went to the gym and just did some light cardio, it really helped me, and I think it was like the rush of endorphins. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but after I worked out, I felt so much better. My stomach didn't feel as tight for whatever reason, and I'm not doing anything like crazy at the gym. I might just do some light weights, and I do either the elliptical or I'll do the treadmill on, you know, like I get my heart rate up, but I'm not like pushing myself too hard. I try to go to the gym every day that I'm not working. I work twice a week, sometimes 3. So all my days off, I try to go to the gym for an hour. And then another thing I've been doing with my husband, since we're still living at our in-laws while we're building our house, is after I put Miles to bed, we take a walk around the neighborhood together. I think it's about a mile. So I try to do that at night as well, just because I've had to eat so much food to feel like a normal human this pregnancy that I really want to try to stay active if I can. I just don't want it to all catch up to me. So yes, I have been exercising. Best moment of the week by far was our ultrasound appointment this week, where we heard the heartbeat and got to see our little bean in there.
You see that little flickering inside? That's the heart. This here.
It was so relieving. I can't even explain it to you. I had such bad anxiety ever since I had my miscarriage. When the first day that I found out I was pregnant this time around, I was so anxious all the time. So hearing the heartbeat just gave me the relief and the peace of mind that I desperately needed. So that was by far, hands down, the best moment this week. And I go back to the doctor's office in 4 weeks for another OB appointment and ultrasound, and I cannot wait. I remember when I was pregnant with Miles, I just lived for the ultrasound appointments, and we actually ended up having extra for him, so I don't think I will have all of the ultrasound appointments this pregnancy, but I mean, you never know. The ultrasound appointments were like what got me through my pregnancy. I just looked forward to them, and it just helped my pregnancy go by faster. Any movement? No, I have not had any movement yet, even though I feel like I am showing already. Like, it's so weird. When I was pregnant with my first, and I know this is normal, gosh, I didn't even start showing, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 weeks. Maybe that's a little bit of a stretch, but it was a long time. And now, like, I can already just feel my lower abdomen area is like a little bit extended, and I do feel like different things inside my body kind of stretching, like around my groin area, and just all that normal stuff because your body's moving itself around, getting ready to make room for baby in there. But as far as baby movements, no, I do think it is way too soon for that. Food cravings. I had 2 very specific cravings between weeks 5 and 7, I would say, and that was cereal with ice cold whole milk. I tried it to save some calories with like skim milk or 2% milk, and it was just not the same. It had to be whole milk, it had to be ice cold, and it had to be like a vanilla almond granola. I would go through so much of that. I would probably have like 3 bowls a day, like 3 big bowls. That was just like what sounded good to me all the time. And then I also really craved little carrot sticks dipped in ranch dressing, and it had to be ranch. But now what's really funny is neither of those things sound good to me at all. Whenever I'm hungry, I don't have as many food aversions this time around, but those two are 2 things that I never want anymore. I don't know if I just like overdid them or what, but those do not sound good to me at all. So current food cravings, I would say just Mexican food. Anything Mexican I want all the time. So that was just like my first pregnancy as well. And even during my pregnancy where I had my miscarriage, I didn't have that many symptoms, but I really just craved Mexican food. Miles and I go to Chipotle a couple times a week, and there's this really good Mexican restaurant that's by our old house that I've been craving so bad, and they're actually opening a location near Ryan's parents' house, and I cannot wait to go. Just authentic Mexican food, so good. Food aversions. So I touched on this a little bit already, but the only food aversion that I've had this pregnancy, besides just kind of overdoing it with my cereal and carrot cravings, is definitely coffee, which is so weird because I am such a coffee lover. Pretty much from day one, early on, when I thought maybe I could be pregnant, coffee just sounded horrible to me. Even when I would try to drink it, I could only drink a couple sips, and it just did not sit right in my stomach. I did, however, just because I have not been sleeping well this past week, I have been going to Starbucks and I get a small iced latte with coconut milk. I can have coffee if it's cold, but I have to really sip it slow, and I don't love it. I'm doing it more just because on days I work, I need some energy, especially if I'm not sleeping. So that has seemed to be doing the trick for me so far. When I was pregnant with Miles, my first pregnancy, I had so many food aversions, specifically any type of meat. I would even gag when I would drive by like a fast food restaurant and I could just smell like the smell of cooking meat. Ooh, I couldn't do it. We do not know the gender yet, but we do plan on finding out. I got the paperwork from my doctor at my last appointment, and he said I could go to the lab and get all my blood work done for the genetic testing and to find out the gender in 2 weeks. So I would be 10 weeks at that point. So we're definitely going to find that out. I just assume it's going to be another boy. My husband's one of 4. My son thinks it's a boy. He keeps saying he wants a brother. My last pregnancy, he kept saying he wanted a sister. So I don't know. I've heard that kids have like an intuition or like a sense about that. So we'll see. Right now I guess I would be leaning more towards boy, but I don't really know. When we went in for the ultrasound, the baby's heart rate was 163, and I don't know if the old wives' tales about the heart rate is true, but I believe that they say if it's lower, it's a boy, higher is a girl, but I don't know what those ranges are, so I don't know if 163 would be considered high or if it would be considered low, or if that's even an accurate thing. If you guys know, leave me a comment down below because I am curious. I don't know, to see if that means anything, to see if it's like a little hint as to a boy or a girl. Labor signs, no, I do not plan on having any of that for a really long time. Let me see, symptoms. So this is actually, I have some notes written down so I don't forget. Headaches. Between 4 and 6 weeks, I had the worst headaches, and I did not want to take anything. I talked to my doctor about this as well, and we were on the same page. Because of my previous miscarriage, I didn't want to take any medication of any kind if I could avoid it. So when the headaches came, I would try to do all sorts of natural remedies. My friend actually recommended getting this heated shoulder pad thing, which I picked up from Bed Bath & Beyond, and that helped sometimes just going in the hot shower and just letting water hit the back of my head. Sometimes that helped. I would kind of like use my fingers to kind of dig into my temples. I don't know, it kind of just, I would try to just get through it the best that I could, but luckily those I have not had in about 2 weeks. So that's been great. I've also heard that drinking a lot of water helps prevent those, so I've been doing that too. It's super hot in Florida, so I feel like I'm drinking water all the time, and I literally have to pee like every 20 minutes already. It's just like crazy. And I know it's gonna be like that for the next 9 months, but it just seems way too soon for me to be peeing this often at 8 weeks, but I mean, it is what it is. Another symptom that I've been dealing with, and I can't even, like, it blows my mind when I talk to people who do not get nauseous when they're pregnant, because I have always gotten nauseous, so nauseous when I'm pregnant, but I never throw up. Yeah, I did not throw up during my first pregnancy, and I was so nauseous with him from the entire first trimester, but literally as soon as the second trimester hit, I was fine the rest of my pregnancy. So I thought that was pretty lucky, because I know people can have nausea the entire pregnancy. So thank God I did not have that for my first pregnancy, and this one I have been dealing with a lot of nausea as well. So again, I'm trying to just do natural remedies, and I reached out to people on Instagram and I got such good suggestions. People recommended using ginger, like the ginger chews that you can find at Trader Joe's. I think they even have them at Target. Also ginger tea, and I did use those for the early on, like 4 to 6 weeks, and now for whatever reason the thought of ginger makes me nauseous, but it did help me for a little bit at first. I also got a ton of recommendations for smelling peppermint essential oil, which I have not tried, and peppermint tea, which I have not tried either. So I do plan on picking that up. I do have a couple of the Preggy Pop drops that I got from Target. They're basically just sour candies, and those work for me sometimes. It's more of just like a Band-Aid. You know, they don't really help relieve it. It's just kind of like helps me deal with it, I would say. So I do use those. I was using ginger in the past. Another thing that I have ordered that so many people said worked for them, it's called a C band, and it's basically 2 bands that you wear around your wrist, and they touch different pressure points, and it's supposed to help you not be nauseous. So I'm really excited to try that out. Trying to see, I shared on my Instagram, there were so many good suggestions. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll leave my handle here, because I shared everyone's tips and they were so helpful, and I'm gonna save a little like story highlight with all of my pregnancy stuff, all the tips that I received from people. So if you guys want to check that out and refer to it, I did get a lot of great suggestions and things that I cannot wait to try to help with this nausea. But I will say that all of these symptoms I'm taking as such a good sign, because I just think it means that I have a healthy baby in there. So if I have to feel a little tired and sick sometimes, it'll be worth it, and I'll just have to get through it. Okay, sorry guys, my memory card filled up. Hopefully this video is not going to be too long, but I just have so much to share and I'm so excited. So anyway, what I was saying is my first pregnancy, I had really bad breakouts and just dealt with a lot more acne the first trimester, and it's really interesting with this one, it's kind of been the opposite. I have not had any breakouts, so I'm not sure if that means anything, but I think it's interesting to note that I had 2 completely different experiences with that. The last symptom that I'm going to talk about is I feel like I am out of breath all the time, and I know that that's common the further along that you are in pregnancy, but I feel like I am way too early to be experiencing shortness of breath, but it happens to me, you guys, all the time. And I did a quick little Google search just to see if that was normal, like I do for most of my symptoms, and I don't really think that it is. So I think I need to talk to my doctor about it. I've never really had like shortness of breath before, but the last week, I would say, I really have been having a lot of shortness of breath. So if any of you guys can relate, or if you know anything, I don't know, leave me a comment. If I'm already having shortness of breath, what is it gonna be like when I am 9 months pregnant? Like, I don't know. Belly button in or out? It is still in, and with my first pregnancy, when it popped out, you could see that thing through no matter what I wore, you could see it, and it just kind of sucked. I was really insecure about it, I'm not gonna lie. I just did not like it, and when we went in for our maternity pictures, I tried to put a piece of tape over it because you could just see it so, it was so pronounced through the dress that I was wearing. I was just so embarrassed, and I think the tape worked a little bit, but it was hard to get off, so I probably won't do that again. Wedding rings on or off? They are on. However, when we go for our nightly walks, I do take them off because my hands get so swollen, but I think that's just because it's super muggy and hot out right now, so I don't know if that's really pregnancy related. I'm happy or moody most of the time. So usually happy, but it's funny, my husband is the one who can just like, we laugh about it because he can just do little things that just get on my nerves so bad. And I feel like it's been happening so much more lately. Luckily we both have a sense of humor about it, but gosh, he could just, for whatever reason, he's like the one thing that's making me moody this pregnancy. And the last question is, what am I looking forward to? So I'm definitely looking forward to finding out the gender, because once I know that, I can start buying and planning everything, really. I mean, once I know if it's a boy or a girl, I can come up with the theme of the nursery. We can start nailing down a name, because my husband and I are like, we just can't decide. We knew Miles right away. We just both loved the name Miles, so it was just such a casual conversation, and we both agreed to it like right off the bat. And we both have been dreading talking about names for this next baby because we are so on opposite ends. My husband likes really like out there names, and I feel like I like really good names. I think I have good taste, but my husband like legit wanted to name our baby like Aristotle or something, so that's gonna be a tough conversation. But I am looking forward to finding out the gender just because I'm such a planner and I just want to start planning and just figuring everything out. However, I do love the idea of waiting and being surprised. If we were gonna have a third baby, I'm definitely, that's 100% what I would do, is wait and be surprised. Well, actually, if we had one of each and then we were gonna have a third, I would totally wait and be surprised, because at that point you've already had one of each, you probably already have everything saved. I know that I just could not do that. I like the idea of it. When other people do it, it makes me really excited for them, but personally, no, I could not. I would probably call the doctor's office and be like, tell me what the gender is. So we are definitely gonna find out, and I'm not sure what sort of gender reveal we're gonna do, because we didn't do a gender reveal with my first one. We did the early genetic testing, and the doctor's office just literally called me. I was on my way home from work. They called me and just told me over the phone. My husband wasn't even there. So I told him, no, I think I called him as soon as I got off the phone with the doctor. So it was just very impersonal, but I wanted to just know as soon as possible, so I didn't even want to wait to like go pick up the envelope, you know? I just was like, no, as soon as you get the results, call me, and that's what they did, and I was happy, you know? I just wanted to know. But this time I do think it'd be fun to do a gender reveal, mostly because I want to have Miles involved, so I don't know what I'm gonna do for that. But anyway, I need to stop talking so much. I just have so much to say. Maybe I should do weekly updates. All right, so the next thing on this questionnaire is to do a bump shot. I'm not thrilled about this, but I'll do it. So, I mean, there's not much, probably just some like bloat, to be honest with you. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I don't know, what do you see? I feel like I'm already like extended out a little bit. All right, so that was my bump shot. Hopefully that didn't like scare you guys away. I don't know. This pregnancy, I just have to wrap my head around. I'm gonna be showing faster. That's just how it's gonna be. So, all right guys, that is the end of my first pregnancy update. I don't know what I'm gonna title it. yet, but thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave me a comment down below if you are pregnant or TTC. It's always nice to just have a little girl gang of pregnant people while you are pregnant, because it can be a lot. There's always things that come up. It's always nice to have support, so I would love to talk to you and get to know you in the comments down below. So make sure you leave me a comment and give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe if you want to follow my pregnancy journey, because I do plan on documenting it, and I don't know, I'm just so excited to share it with you guys. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.
Stay true to that fire in your heart and your soul. Don't drench your desire.